See what I mean? Now, I live up in northwest Reno, and there's a strip mall close by where I do most of my food shopping. And as you leave the mall at the light, nearly every time there's a poor man begging, asking for money. And I say to myself, I have so much. I feel so guilty that I'm not helping this guy more than I am. And yet I get conflicted on the other side. Why doesn't this guy just get a job? Aren't there plenty of social resources that can help him out? Or maybe he's even using this money to buy alcohol or drugs. I don't know. So you see what a problem that is. This weekend's gospel presents and recalls the very same dilemma with the same feelings of guilt. First of all, I believe that Jesus told us this story to bother us, to get under our skin about how we look at the poor. Let's face it, I would venture to say that most of us here are relatively okay, maybe even relatively rich. We have food, we have water, we have medicinal care, we have transportation. We're probably even better than okay. The rich man in the gospel was dressed in fine linens and dined very well every day. Today's language, he would be wearing a great suit and eating out a lot and having servants at his house to do the menial work. The rich man, if you noticed, has no name. Lazarus, the poor guy, has a name, but the rich man doesn't. It's almost because oftentimes those who are well off isolate themselves. You don't know them because they're able to live by themselves and not worry about anybody else. And Lazarus is right there on his doorstep. Probably the rich man had to walk over him to get to where he was going to and from his house. Well, now the poor man dies and is taken to the side of Abraham. And so does the rich man, who ends up in a life of torment. And when he asks for help for his brothers, Abraham says to the rich man, "Sorry about that. Your brothers have Moses and the prophets." Hey, guess what? So do we. We've got Moses and the prophets. Like our first reading from Amos. Amos is considered to be the king of the prophets who watched out for the poor. If you want a good dose of being, I don't want to say yelled at, but it comes across that way because Amos was upset at the very rich at the time that did very, very little to take care of the poor. All of this raises the question, why has God allowed me to have so much? Do you ever think about that? There's so many millions of poor people in this world, and yet here I am, everything I could possibly need. Why is that? Bishop Barron tells the story about now deceased Cardinal Francis George, who was the Cardinal Archbishop of Chicago. He was speaking to a group of benefactors under a big tent who came for the reason that the cardinal was going to ask them for money. These folks were very well off. He reminded them of how the poor need the rich to get them out of poverty. Makes sense. It's the responsibility of those who are well off to help. But then he added, they, the rich, need the poor, are you ready, to get them out of hell. Had the rich man helped Lazarus out of poverty, he would not be in that place of torment. And perhaps that's why Lazarus was there, to get him out of that situation. So why is that guy at the light in the strip mall in Northwest Reno, where I do my food shopping, maybe for me to find a way out of torment so that I can break free from whatever isolation I've placed on myself. Is there a Lazarus in your life that you can help? Is that why God has given you the wealth that you enjoy in this life? All of us would be wise to take a look at our doorsteps.